Hey man, I'm such a good mood, man. I'm telling you. That was live footage, man. I left that camera rolling, man. It had to been no more than man, after I got my son in there and we re-stabbed that transmission in a matter of about 15 minutes, man. So no offense to anybody, man, but if y'all think that I was going about it all the wrong way, I've used transmission jack before, and fighting underneath the damn thing, laying on your back, you know, with one of them trying to do it that way versus on top with a pulley and a ratchet system, and turning that shaft down there. Make sure you got your lining tool, you know, first, and make sure you turn that you know, you put it in gear and you turn that you know, your yoke to line your teeth to get it into the clutch. And once you feel it slide in, you know, and then push it the rest of the way in. But I just got to say, hands down, having that thing on a rope, on that pulley system that I made in there, it made that thing so easy to tip and turn, you know. And I could actually feel it, you know, by jerking on that thing like that. I could actually feel it wiggling in the hole. Believe it or not, I felt with my feet, I could feel it, you know, I could feel it moving in there, and I could see it moving closer. And when I finally got it close enough for my son to get in there, I mean, me and him hit it together. I mean, it was just hanging there. When me and my son got in there and do it, bam, we hit it in about 15 minutes, had it bolted in. And I really wish there was enough people to show it, but y'all just got to believe me out there, man. I wasn't going about it the wrong way. I might have looked like that, but just take it from me, man. That pulley system worked awesome, dude. The only difference is if you can take a cherry picker and throw in the inside of your cab, if you don't have a cherry picker, well then use that pulley system, man. Don't use no cheap straps. Make sure you use toe strap, and make sure you use a heavy duty ratchet strap. I wouldn't recommend using no cheesy ass little tie down ratchet straps. I mean, I wouldn't even gonna. I had a couple of those around, and I thought, nah, maybe I ought to go to my shop, my buddy's shop, and borrow his you know, come along ratchet strap, and then borrow his toe strap. And he says, man, he says, good luck. Hope it works. It sounded like a pretty good idea versus that. He says, I've used a cherry picker in there to do it, but I didn't, you know, I didn't have no truck or no way of getting it, you know, and he had one, but it was just too big. And he says, man, he says, yeah, I think it'll work, man. Just make sure you got enough clearance to where you don't bottom out on your ratchet strap or on your come along. But yeah, hands down, people, that was the easiest. That was easy, man. I know I had some comments on there from my subscribers, man, but you know, keep an open mind. Sometimes something that you might think that is other than the way you've been taught, or other than the way that you're familiar with doing it, keep an open mind for some people out there, man. And maybe some other people might try something and fail at it, but as long as it ain't hurting nothing, and as long as you don't put nothing in a bind, like I said, on a lot of things, it's just my, you know, I've already did the explaining on that, but I'm just trying to tell people out there, this is a perfect example, man. I had some favorite subscribers. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not slamming them at all. They've given me a lot of advice out there in the past on a lot of comments, and kept me moving forward with my channel. So I hold them close to my mind as well as my heart, and use them for knowledge to turn to. But one of them said, you're going about it the wrong way. Geez, Limpy, you don't have to do that to yourself. And he was real nice about what he said, but man, I won the glory on the end of this one, man. That was easy as hell, dude, and so easy. It was just so easy. You got to try it for yourself. It's so easy. Everybody else I've looked on YouTube, and they've always said, man, I just didn't, you know, like I said on one of my other previous footages, man, I just didn't, you know, they show a before and after. Oh, we got it in there, but I just don't want to go into how we got it in there. I'm proud that I kept that camera going. I'm glad that I struggled through it, and you've seen the struggling, but it's not really that much of a struggle if you got an extra hand down there throwing the bolt in there. I just couldn't wiggle it at the same time, get a bolt started, you know. My hand just couldn't do both, and I made sure that strap, you know, is straight in line with your where the gear shift goes in, where the gear shift stem goes in down in the transmission. Yeah, you got to make sure it's there, and that way, that's the point of it. Just barely would Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, it would barely just tip it a little bit. I mean, I lifted it up like that; it was barely tipping, and all I had to do is take my feet and push down on the tail just a little bit, turn the yoke, and get it to go to slide through the clutch. And then that way you know it's in there, because when the yoke quits turning, you feel it quit. You feel it quit, so you know you're into the clutch area. And then when you get it so close to the bolt pattern to where you can screw the bolt, all 4 bolts off in there, by all means, if it's that close already, you've already begun to stab that shaft into the pilot bearing hole. And thanks for all the comments. Thanks for the support. But I'm just saying, man, don't be so pessimistic about somebody's ideas, because some of their ideas might work. I think I may be the first one that did that. I don't know if I'll ever find anybody else that had that idea, and it sure does look like a redneck jerry-rig thing. But I'm telling you, man, my truck is not damaged. None of my parts on my truck are ruined. My dash is not ruined. Hands down, man, it did not damage my truck in the least little bit at all, man. I did this with the knowledge that I knew, and I have did it with a transmission jack before. And that transmission jack, man, it was just, I've been underneath the truck one time before, and you know, it's just hard to work underneath it. Why not get above it? It just makes more sense. It made more sense to me to try to do that from above. And I'm glad that I got the glory on this one, man. I did it. I did it, man. Yo, I did it. See y'all later. Till next time. Bye-bye.